Hey guys, welcome to the Reviews Podcast with your hosts,
Logan
and Alexandra. So today we're going to be reviewing a film called Society of the Snow. It is up on Netflix. It is a Netflix original, and it was directed by J.A. Bayona. It basically... Why don't you put your 2 cents in?
the old Christian. Oh, that's right, they were Christian. So the rugby team was going to Chile, and they had a pilot malfunction, and they crashed into, what was the mountain called?
The Andes Mountains?
Yeah, the Andes Mountains.
Which then they had to survive for about 3 months.
Yeah, there was 45 passengers.
But then they were left with 16. So basically, they just had to endure starvation, avalanches, severe weather.
I like how it shows, like in the movie, it was like throughout the days, you saw how, like, tough it got, like, not eating, because they ran out of food. But I also don't know why they didn't savor the crackers that they had. Like, they just ate
Because they were just hungry.
But off, like, the third day, like, you're already eating all the food that you have.
Yeah.
And then, like, it showed, like, how everyone felt about, like, having to, like... Because eventually, like, people were dying. They didn't have no food. They started saying, like, people who knew they were going to die, they were like, if... Like, I give you permission to, like, eat me, you know? Like,
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But then, like, you see the people who, like, don't want it.
Also, some background information. In the film, due to starvation, and since more people started dying throughout, like, the horrific incident, they had to resort to cannibalism and eating their loved ones. And that really tackled most of the morals of all the characters who were in the film.
Because they were Christian. It was a Christian rugby team.
They were highly religious.
I feel like it shows, like, the sacrifice you have to make, like, life or death.
Yeah.
Like, that's, like, really, like, nothing matters at that point of, like, life or death.
Because you have some characters where they're like, it's either we eat or we die, you know? So they just, they don't have any other choice but to resort to cannibalism. But then you also have other people who are, like the narrator. He had, like...
What was his name? I forgot.
Me too.
It's okay.
But he had, like, you could see his battles with, like, his own morals. And
like, they had to feed it to him because he would not do it himself. Like, he literally died because of it.
People had to beg him to eat, you know? Because they only had each other. They were, like, brothers to each other. You know, like, some people lost, like... Because they were also able to bring, like, family members onto the plane. On our way to Chile. And, like, guys lost, like, their sisters, their mothers... You know, like, one lost his wife. And so, like, they're best friends and everything. So it must have been, like, very difficult. But other than that, like, the movie has some great aspects to it. Like, the scenery was insane. Like, regardless of it being, like, terrible. Like, not terrible. The situation was horrific. But, like... If you just look at the scenery, you can see how much effort the producer put into it. Like, there's, like, a bunch of snow. Like, the avalanches look real. And then it makes you then forget that it was just a film. Yeah. You know? What do you think?
Because when we were watching it, I feel like the situation was so bad, you know? But I was like, dang, imagine being there. Yeah. Like, not in that situation.
No, but, like...
Because the mountains were so pretty, and what didn't you say something about how they took pictures, like they went there and actually like took pictures of the background and then they used it in the cinematography.
The film, dude, the accuracy, the amount of effort J.A. Bayona put into this film. They did this thing where like they went to go film in the actual Andes Mountains where the actual incident happened. This is also based on a true story, by the way. Sorry. Disclaimer, yeah. And, like, he got film and everything. And since, like, the actors weren't obviously able to film in the actual mountains due to, like...
Climate and stuff.
Climate and everything. Because it's still bad, but it's also now, like... a spot that more people go into, so they won't, you know, they won't have that much time to or
plus
space.
Plus, like, when you're recording like a movie, like, it's throughout days, so you can't always like predict what the weather's gonna be like.
Yeah, no.
Like, imagine you're out there with all that productivity, set up, like all the technology and stuff, and then boom, blizzard. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then like some of the actors, like, it was just also another thing. The actors, like, in order to get into like the whole, like, I don't know what to say other than this, but in the little starvations, like, scenes, they actually had to go on a diet themselves, and they, like, you can see the difference. If you search up online and see, like, actors, like...
Yeah, they have to condition themselves for their role.
Yeah, and they have to get into it. Yeah.
That's why a lot of times, like, during certain roles, I feel like people will, like, like, turn into their character. Like, in real life.
Yeah. Which is... Because it's crazy, because also Jay Bayona, one thing he also did, he sought out actors who looked identical to the actual Andes Mountain survivors. You know, and you can also see, like, some of the survivors in the actual film as bystanders, you know? Which was also insane to me. There's a survivor who went on an interview and spoke about the accuracy of the film and how he appreciated the fact that he was also in the film, according to radiotimes.com. And yeah, it's just, like, insane.
Yeah, the amount of effort they wanted to put. Because it's a really serious story, too. Because, like, people's lives were on the line. And I really liked how, as the people were dying, they put their name and their age. Yeah. And then, like, they put them in rows.
Even if the person who died wasn't necessarily, like, in the scene or, like, the film, like, as days went on, they would, like, keep count of who died, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think was
they made sure they were known, which is very appreciative. I feel like if I was part of that person's family, I'd be like, thank you, you know.
Yeah. And that's one thing that these actual survivors said about it, is that because there's also other reenactments of the actual incident. They usually focus on the actual incident themselves and not on the survivors, but like this film did. Like Jay Bayona, he like had many like interviews with the survivors. He talked to the families about the survivors.
He got his sources,
and he also wanted to like get information, and also gave out sympathy to the people who like lost their brother or their son or even their boyfriend in like this incident, which I thought was very considerate.
All in all, it was a great film.
It was a really good film. The acting was perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very emotional.
It was very emotional.
Like, you felt like you were there with them.
Yes.
It was very homey. Like, when they were, like, stuck in the plane. Like, in the snow in the plane. Yeah. You could tell the, like, family and, like, connection between all of them.
Yes. One thing about us, when we were watching the movie, we were just there with our mouths gaping open. Yeah. We just lost the fact. We forgot the fact that it was just a film.
Yeah.
You know?
It felt very real.
It felt really real. And it's a 2-hour-long film. 2 hours and a half.
It didn't really feel like 2 hours, though.
It didn't.
It was very intriguing. But, like, sad.
It was. And even though, like, it might be kind of predicting the plot.
Yeah.
Because, like...
Like, you knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, you knew it was going to happen. Because also, it's a real story.
Yeah.
You know, some people know that already, you know, when watching the movie.
Yeah. But, like, hearing someone talk about it and then seeing it in, like perspective is two completely different things.
It is.
So it's very important that they made a movie about it, I feel like. Because you just say, hey, 16 people died in them. Or 16 out of 45 people survived.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, damn.
Dang.
You see the movie about it, you're like, dang, they struggled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. 10 minutes.
That was pretty good.
That was really good. Do you still want to keep talking?
Of
course, yeah. One thing about this film is that it was an Uruguayan film, you know? It was a foreign film on Netflix, and it eventually reached, like, number 1 on, like, the top 10 films on Netflix at the moment. which is like a very high achievement, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Especially for like a foreign film, let alone a normal film on Netflix.
Like,
You know?
Like, dang, Netflix.
Okay,
Give them
Netflix. No way. But what?
Live in the moment, Alexandra.
So but yeah, so we spoke about the actors, acting, cinematography, the accuracy of the film. What do you think about the film? Like, would there be like some things that could be like tweaked a little bit better? I feel like the time, personally.
What do you mean?
Like the time could have been shorter. Like, is it?
Nah, I feel like the time was perfect because you have to account for. It was a long time they were sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were there for how many days was it? Do you remember?
It was 70 something, 73.
3 months, right?
3 months.
For 3 months. So a 2-hour long video is very short for 3 months of complete suffering. So they had to show the time where there was nothing happening and people were just there, like, because you think about it, you're sitting there doing nothing. Like, there was a lot of action in it. People going off and, like, eating and stuff like that. But then you have to think about the times where they were literally just, like, sitting there.
Yeah.
Doing nothing. Like, when we sit here and do nothing, we have TV or, you know, whatever it is we want to do. They were literally just sitting there thinking about how I'm literally going to die. Like, I could die at any moment, you know?
Mm-hmm. Sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I agree. It's just that I feel like
You have a short attention span.
also from like a viewer's point of view of a documentary, I feel like it would be really easy to lose like the attention of somebody when it's, because there are like a lot of scenes where it was just silent, you know, which made it very suspenseful, but also when it's like,
I could see losing it, like, focus on it, but I also feel like it was very crucial because of, like, that's all they were able to do.
Yeah.
You know? And so, like, you have to show, like, the time that they had nothing left.
But yeah, no, that's true. But like most of the time it was just like them showing the cinematography and like the weather. But yeah.
There was a lot of blizzards that came through. I think there was like 2. One of them was devastating. It killed
majority of the survivors. Like there was people that you're rooting for in that movie, and then all of a sudden
the narrator especially, like, I feel like in a movie you never expect for the narrator to die, and then
but he didn't die at his no, he got an infection.
Yes,
he didn't die from starvation.
His foot, frostbite, and then it infected, right?
Yes, there's a scene before, because it was a plane crash and they were just basically living in the remains of the plane. And so unexpectedly there was a avalanche. But like all of the survivors were in the plane, so like
it just barricaded because they didn't have, it was like half a plane.
It was
so they had a big opening
with broken windows and everything.
And so to like stop that big hole in it, they put all their luggage up to like make that wall. And so when the blizzard came, it just
it moved all the luggages. It like people were stuck in. It's like
that's how the guy's wife died.
Yes,
she was stuck in there.
But the narrator, dude, can you imagine being stuck under snow? Like, have you ever been to like a trampoline park and been like stuck in like a
little foam pit?
Yes.
Yeah,
imagine
how
that.
It's suffocating. Yes,
but times 10.
Yeah, and it's cold.
It's cold.
Like you're breathing and you can't breathe. Snow is very heavy. Like, it's lightweight, but when it's like a lot at one time, it's very heavy.
Yeah.
And the blizzard, like
the blizzard, like that's just more snow on top of more snow on top of more snow.
That's crazy.
But the narrator, they managed to break a window to like get out, and you can see that the remains of the plane were like nowhere because they were just like deep in the snow. So basically, the survivors, they had to like climb out of a random hole, and like since they broke a window, there was gonna be like a lot of glass. So the narrator, he hurt his leg, and he managed to get an infection from it. And so since his like defenses were super like low after living like this for so long and not having enough nutrients and this and that, he eventually like died really quick. But then he like was like a third person narrator from then. rooting on his friends, which is kind of sad. But yeah. So, what do you think?
I think it was good. I like the movie. I think we pretty much touched base on everything, no?
Would you watch it again?
I feel like a month from now, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I feel like it would be good to, like...
watch with, like, a new, like, group of friends or something.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Like, y'all, watch this.
Yeah. Because a lot of people don't know about the incident.
Yeah.
You know?
I didn't.
Me neither. I had
no idea.
I didn't know that it was a true story.
I feel like they should have done more, it was award-winning.
Yeah, it was an award-winning film. And it had been awarded so many awards, which was like, which is insane, especially for a foreign film on Netflix. Crazy. But the actual incident in real life, it happened in 1972, so it was kind of recent, you know, and we still don't know much about it. So having like this film like resurface the incident, it's insane. So it would be really nice to like show like your little brother or like other siblings or your cousins, your friends, and just be like, hey, like, watch this movie, because it's very meaningful. You know,
it's like The Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
Yes.
Like, I would show everyone that movie and be like, you have to see how, like,
the impact that it has. Yeah.
Yes.
Like, if it had an impact on me, you know, just wait.
It's like inspirational, but it's like an inspirational tragedy, because it's like they push through. So it's like, dang, like, you kind of put yourself in that position. Like, if I was in that position, would I be able to do X, Y, and Z, you know?
Yeah, especially because another thing about this movie, it was very controversial, the way that they had to resort to cannibalism. That was, like, one of their main things.
I feel like that was the biggest thing out of the whole movie.
Yeah. Really?
Like putting yourself in that position type-wise? Yes. Because, like, that's, like, you're, like, eating someone that you know. You know, like,
it wasn't only just cannibalism, it was just like, it was your friend that you're eating.
Exactly. Like, that is so...
Yeah. And imagine there was people who had to actually get the dead corpses and cut through their friends, you know, to like serve
and in the movie they praised them, like, they gave them, well, not praise them, but yes, they gave them recognition for, they do it, like, they have the strongest stomachs.
Like, there was this one survivor. His name was Roberto. And, like, he was studying medicine. It was known since, like, the beginning, because he helped a guy. Because, stop. In the beginning of the plane crash, like, this guy, he, like, broke his leg. But Roberto, he came in, and he was, like, trying to remember. When the guy was like, he like snapped his leg, and like he was trying to like make the guy like think about something else, and then he like snapped the leg back. And so since he knew all this knowledge and everything,
I liked Roberto. I feel like he was very
my favorite,
structured. He
was my favorite character. And it's crazy, he wasn't just a character, he was like an actual person. And like he had a lot of courage and put his morals aside to help feed his friends, you know, which was like insane. Like, what would you do in that like situation?
I wouldn't be able to. I don't have that, you know. I feel like I would be more like
the person who would just like sit back,
watch it happen, and be like, "You got it, you got this."
Would you watch it happen?
Probably not.
No, because all of the other survivors, like the ones who didn't, because there was people who would just not sit there, but like not. I'm sorry. There were people who didn't want to cut the flesh of their loved ones, you know, but they didn't want to see it happening, so they would usually, like, the people who would cut the flesh, they would have to, like, go far away, you know, out of sight.
Yeah. They didn't have the stomach for it.
You know?
Yeah.
It's insane. It makes you think. It makes you think.
Yes. The movie overall really makes you think. Like, situational.
Yeah.
You know?
Because you can see, like, them being friends and them not knowing that this is going to happen. Like, in the first, like, scene when they were, like, on the plane, they were so happy. They were ready to go to Chile. you know.
And they start the narrator, the main one that dies.
Mm-hmm.
He even said that he wanted to dance, and the guy was like, "You don't dance," and he was like, "Yeah, but I want to," you know. So like, like you're about to die, you think about all the things you didn't do. It's like when you get a stuffy nose, and you like you realize that you take for granted when your nose wasn't stuffy.
Yeah,
you know, when you could actually breathe good.
Yeah, it makes you really think, like, to be grateful.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it was a good movie. I would watch it again.
Mm-hmm. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Rotten Tomatoes, 98%.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But yeah, that is all. All right, do you have any more comments?
I don't think so.
None for me. But yeah, I would recommend watching it. It's on Netflix, called Society of the Snow. It's in Spanish, but there's obviously captions and voiceovers.
There's English mode. It's just
in many different languages, not just English mode.
Oh
if you want to like catch up on your Spanish too, like you can just watch it in Spanish. English subtitle. What am I talking about?
Movies 10 out of 10. Go watch it.
Yes, go watch it. Thank you so much for listening. And I hope you guys have a great day.